So that's it. Devon has stopped Levan Saginashvili right in the center without going under the table. This shows us that we definitely need a third super match between these two. Well, not really, but many people are going to say that for sure. Hello arm wrestling fans, in today's video we will discuss the famous practice pulls between Devon and Genadi, Devon versus Levan, then against Vitaly Lalatin, David Samushia, Vitaly versus Genadi, and Devon versus Barbora. So Devon Larratt versus Genadi Kvikvinia. They in fact practice pulled before the event started, and Genadi completely stonewalled Devon right in the center, right in the hook. And keep in mind that this is a Genadi which is not 100%. Devon isn't at his best either, but Genadi literally said that he's not ready for the top guys yet. He can at best have a super match against the 10th best guy in the world, and that too few months from now. Devon seemed to be really impressed and almost shocked looking at the power of Genadi Kvikvinia, and he jokingly told Genadi that he would never like to arm wrestle him ever again after feeling this kind of power. But I think this is more than just a joke. If you remember, about a month or two ago, I did mention as soon as Devon showed some intentions of moving down in weight, I did say that we will never see the Genadi versus Devon match ever again, because by the time Devon decides to get back to the super heavyweights, Genadi Kvikvinia is going to be in top shape and he's going to be too much for Devon Larratt, especially considering Devon's endurance, which will be on the decline because he's almost 50 years old. Then Devon Larratt versus Levan Saginashvili. So they were not going full all out in this practice pull. Clearly, at least not on the left arm. On the left, they were just playing around. But on the right, it was almost serious. Maybe 90% strength. But there were still no ready goes, no attacking off the go. Levan Saginashvili did pin Devon quite a few times on the right arm as well before Devon finally put the brakes on. And that was the last practice pull that we saw when Devon stopped Levan with an open arm top roll. And Levan was staying there. I'm not sure if he would have switched to that flop press position just like the first round, because that's what was needed here. But Devon stopped pulling afterwards. But I also think that Levan does not think it is that necessary to win a practice pull, a funny, friendly practice pull, that he has to switch to a flop press. It wouldn't have happened and Devon would have gotten the pin in that round if he continued. But the important thing for Devon was that he did try another lane against Levan Saginashvili, which he was never able to try before in practice or in actual competition. However, I don't think they really had any practice pull on the right arm before this one, only 2 competitions. So the lane was an inside game, and Devon realized that even in an inside game, Levan is way too powerful. So looks like if Devon had any doubts or any expectations that maybe a different lane can work, then right now it seems as if it is not going to work, and that third super match is never going to happen. But we never know, this is a big money match and they might once again trick us into believing that this can be a close match, or at least that this is a better match than any other Levan Saginashvili super match, and we may see that for the third time next year. Then Devon Larratt versus Vitaly Lalatin. That was not surprising, but I got some new information from this one. So we all assumed, including Devon Larratt, that Vitaly is going to be a stylistically difficult opponent for Devon, and this was confirmed during this practice pull. It almost went exactly the same dominant way for Vitaly, just like the 2018 practice pull. The interesting info that we got from this practice pull was not Vitaly pinning Devon again and again and Devon not being able to do anything. We kind of expected that already, and especially if Devon was tired, because Vitaly wasn't. He just flash pinned his opponent 3 times in a row. So Vitaly can get a lot of depth during the grip on Devon's hand, and that can prevent Devon's King's move. It was preventing Devon's King's move during this practice pull as well. So if Vitaly can emulate such a grip during a competition, I think he's a huge problem for Devon Larratt. Devon still has a little bit pronation, but Vitaly is so far into his hand that the pronation does not mean anything at this point, and that is a big trouble for Devon if that match ever happens. But if we look at it from a different point of view, Devon's style relies heavily on dropping his body weight towards the backside, towards the downside, and once you are arm wrestling on your knees like that, on a table, you don't really have any option to go backwards. That's why Devon doesn't seem to do well during these practice pulls. Only the Levan practice pull was on an actual arm wrestling table, and only from that we can gather some data. Then Devon was getting pinned by David Samushia on the left arm, which was a little bit surprising because maybe Devon's left wasn't that much tired, at least not as much as his right. We saw Vitaly versus Genadi, they never really pulled, but I think Vitaly's hand may have been too much for Genadi. But Genadi's flop press can definitely defeat Vitaly. Devon Larratt versus Barbora. Devon didn't really pull Barbora at all, let's be honest. Barbora is strong, but Devon, under any circumstance, no matter how tired he was, can actually hurt Barbora if he tried too much, and maybe that's why he didn't. And the other reason was he was way too drunk at that point, and he did not want to do anything. He did not want to mess things up by going all out in that practice pull. Thanks for watching, like the video and subscribe.